Hello my dear friends, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial you're gonna learn how to make this awesome application which can find your current location. So let's see how it works. If I press this find my location button, it asks me for permission. If I allow, it detects my location and it shows it in here. This is my current location. It also gives you more extra information like neighborhood, state, subroute, continent, and much more. If I go to inspect, console, reload, and find my location, you can see we get an object of many information. You can use any of this in your application. It's also mobile responsive. So this is a really cool application to find the user location and get more than just the location like neighborhood, state, and many more information. So you guys learned how this application works. Now if you want to learn how to make this, follow me. Okay, now we are inside our project folder. Let's make a folder. I call it find my location. I open the Visual Code and drag and drop this folder into my Visual Code. Inside this folder, I make a file. I call it index.html, and I write the basic HTML5 structure. I give it a title, find my location. I run it with the live server to see everything in real time. There it is. Okay, now let's write the app structure. So the first thing we have to do is to make a div with a class of wrapper. Our program will be inside this wrapper. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to make a button. I call it find my location. This is my button name, and after that I make a table to display the information. Okay, to make a table I make a div with the class of table wrapper, and inside this div I make my table, and I give it a class of FL table. I also give it an ID of table data, which we later use this ID to display the content inside this table, and that's it. We don't want to make anything inside this table because those data comes from our JavaScript. Okay, that's it. Now I make another file. I call it style.css, and I have to link it in my HTML, so I use link CSS, and that's it. Let's make the Visual Code font a little bit bigger so you guys can see everything much better. I make it 17, and now it looks much better, right? Okay, so we have our wrapper and our button and our table. Once that's done, I'm going to give my application some design. So inside my style.css, first of all I need to import the Google font library, and I also remove the default HTML5 design, and that's it. After that I want to select the body and give a design to my body. What I want to display everything in Flexbox. I want to align items into the center. I justify the content into the center. I give a min height of 100 VH. I also give my screen a background color of, I want to give it a linear gradient color. The first color is this one. I give 10% of this color, and my second color is this one, and I give 90% of this color. Let's save it. You see, it looks really nice. If you want to know where I choose these colors, there is a nice website called UI Color Picker. You can pick any nice color from this website. Okay, once we did that, now I wanna also change the selection color. So selection, and I want to change the color of my selection to white, which is F, and after that I want to give it a background color of this background color. Save. You see, now it's very nice. Once I did that, I want to select my wrapper, so wrapper, and give some design to my wrapper. The first thing is I want to display everything in a flex box. I want to justify content into the center. I want to align the item into the center, and what I want is to change the flex direction to column. Everything will be after each other, and also give it a gap, so there will be a distance between the button and the table. I give it 15 pixel. Also want to give my wrapper a width of 600 pixel, and that's my wrapper. And after that I want to select my button. I want to remove the border, so I set the border to none. I also want to remove the outline, so I set the outline to none. And I want to change the font size to 25 pixel. I want to give it a color. Which color? I think this color looks nice. Okay, yeah, this color looks nice. I want to give it a padding of 23 pixel and 44 pixel. I want to give my button a border radius of 7 pixel. Also want to change the cursor to pointer, and after that I want a font width of 500. I also want a background color of white, which is this, and I want a box, it's not box sizing but box shadow, and I want a 0, 0, 20 pixel, 0, and this color. If you don't know what is box shadow, there is a full tutorial on my channel. You can watch that. I put the link in the description. Okay, after that I save. You see, my button looks really nice. I wanna give my button a hover, so I choose my button, and on hover what I want is to change my background color to this color, and I also want to change the color of the font in that color to, where is it? I think I didn't put that. Let's change the color to 0A7CE7, this color. Yeah, it looks much nicer, but I want to give my button a transition to make it more beautiful, all 0.3 second, and it will be linear. Now my button looks really nice when I hover. Okay, that's it. Now I want to give design to my table. Okay, to show you the table I have to write something inside my table, so let me make something inside my table to show you guys. Okay, inside this table for demo, I make this, I delete it later because data come from the JavaScript, but I want to make something inside to show you how to style this. Okay, so I do that really fast. This is a demo table. Now let's give it a style and see how it looks. Okay, the first thing I have to select is my table wrapper, this one. I select my table wrapper by class, and I give it a margin 10 pixel, 17 pixel, and 17 pixel. After that I give it a box shadow 0 pixel, 35 pixel, 15 pixel, and I give it a color, this RGB color. Okay, that is for my table wrapper, and after that I need to choose the table set with the class of FL table. Okay, I choose this one and I give it a border radius of 5 pixel. I give the font size of 12 pixel, and after that I give it a font width of normal this time, and I also give it a border of none because I want to remove the border. And what I want is I wanted to border, not color but border collapse, and I set this one to collapse. And after that I want to give it a width of 100%. I want to give it a max width of 100 pixels, so this will be the max width for this table. After that I give it a white space of no, I think it is no wrap, yeah, no wrap. And after that I want to give it a background color of white. Okay, after that from this FL table I want to choose the TD, which is table and TD. Okay, I chose the TD and I give it some design, but not just the TD, because here we used TH instead of TD, so maybe in some table use TD, but here I use TH, so I say not just that but also select from FL table the TH. Okay, so I give it a text line of center, and I give it a padding of 8 pixel. Now our table got shape. Okay, and after that I wanna select from the FL table, I wanna select the TD itself. I give it a border right, not the border radius but the border right of 1 pix, solid, and this color. And I also want to change the font size to 12 pixel. And after that from this FL table I wanna select the table height and the TH. I want to give it a color. This will be a white color, so something like that. I also give it a background of this color. Now it looks much nicer white. Okay, after that I want to select the FL table, and I want to select the table height, and from here I select the TH and I use NTH child ODD. It means I want to select one after another. It means I want to select this one but not this but this, something like that. There's one odd and even. Okay, I want to give it a color of white, and I also want to change the background to I think I didn't put it here. No, yes, this one. This background, can you see? Now we have this background color for this one, but this is something else, and this odd does that. And after that I select the FL table, and from the FL table I select the TR or table row, and from this one, just like before, I say NTH child, and now I want to choose evenly. Okay, even is like odd but like reverse of that one. I give it a background color of this background color. Okay, because there we have one row, it cannot be show exactly. Okay, that's enough for the styling. But if I go to the inspect, and it doesn't look nice at the mobile. When I find my location, the text will be too big, and that's not good. Let's make it mobile responsive. For that reason, I give it a media and a max width of 700 pixel. When the screen is smaller than 700 pixel, what I want, the first thing is I want to change the button, sum of button design. What I want to change the button font size, I want to set it to 18 pixel, and I also want to change the padding to 20 pixel and 35 pixel. I make them smaller, and I also want to choose my wrapper itself. I want to change the width to 315 pixel, and I also want to change the height to auto. That is the things I want to change. Now later when I check, I press find my location, there will be a long text, and it doesn't affect when we are on the mobile phone because we change the wrapper and button size and weight and those things. Okay, the design is finished. Now it's time to make my script.js. Once we did that, I go to index. I will remove this dummy table because those data will come from the JavaScript itself. So the table will be hide, and I also want to link my script, which is script.js. Okay, now save this one. Okay, now we are on the script.js. The first thing I want to do is to select my button, document.query selector, and I want to select my button. And after that, I also want to select my table. I call it table data equal to document.query selector, and I want to choose my table by ID. This is the ID which I give this. Okay, once done, I want to make an event listener for my button. So I select my button and I give it an event listener of what? Of click. And just run an arrow function. What this arrow function does, I want to first check if the browser support the geolocation or not. So I say if navigator dot geolocation, if our browser support the geolocation or not. We have to check that. Okay, so we say if the browser support us, what we want, I want to change the button text, the button inner text to what? Equal to allow to detect location. I want to show this message at the bottom so user understand to allow. Let's refresh and see how it works. You see, when I click this one, this browser support the geolocation and this message changes. Okay, once that is done, what I want to do is to ask the browser to give us the permission to do that. I say navigator.geolocation.getCurrentPosition, and this one has two parameters. The first one is on success and the other one is on error, which we will make these functions later. Okay, it means if everything is okay, we run this on success function. If not, we run this on error function. Okay, what I want to do is, if this is not like that, else what I want to change the button dot inner text to, so it's when our browser doesn't support the geolocation, so we print this message, your browser not support. That's it. I wanna put this message. Okay, this is finished. Now we have to make this onSuccess function. So I make a function, I call it onSuccess. So this will be run when our browser support the geolocation. It passes a parameter, I call it position. What this button does, the first thing we want to do is to change the pattern dot inner text inner text equal to, now we are on the detecting process, so I print this message, detecting your location. Okay, once we did that, I make, because those information come from somewhere, call it position dot coords, something like that. Yes, the latitude and longitude comes from this coords, and I want to put this one inside. First I have to tell you the coords have the latitude and longitude. I want to put them inside separated variables. To do that, it's very easy. I just make a variable, I call it latitude, and the second will be longitude, latitude and longitude, and this is equal to this one, and that's it. The information of coords come, and we put it inside this latitude and longitude. Okay, once that is done, I want to receive those information. So in this case, I want to use an API. This is the API. You can go to this website, open this link. If you go there, you can sign up, and this API will give you a API key. You have to copy that API key to use it inside this application. So I use a function called fetch, and what this fetch does, it fetch data from this API URL, which is this one. I copy this one. This is the API URL, and what this API URL needs is my latitude, longitude, and also the key, the key it gives you. So I want to first put this latitude, which comes from the browser. Here I write $latitude, and after that I put a plus, and I say $, and now I want to put this longitude, and once we did that, I say end, this end symbol, and key is equal to $key. I write it like this, but you can put your key directly in here, but I want to import my key from somewhere else. That's how I do it like this. So where this key comes from, this is where my key comes from. I copy paste this code, and this is how I tell you, this is some kind of encryption. I don't want someone watch my key, so I use something like this to encrypt and hide my key, and that key will be just seen from here. You can't directly see my key, but you can see that, but the browser knows the key. I will talk about this, how to hide a variable, a number, something in the JavaScript. In the next tutorial I will make a complete video about this one, but for right now you just understand, if you have a key, just copy that key and paste it here, something like this. Just paste it. You won't need to use this part of code, but because I want to hide my public key, my API key, I want to do it like this, so don't be worried about this one. Okay, once we did this, I write then, and what I want to is to I want to change this JSON data into JavaScript object and return it in another function. To do that, I use then, and this response, I want to send this response to response.json. I want to convert this one to JSON. The data I get, I convert it into the JSON. And after that, I want to take this response and send it to a function. And inside this function, what I want to do is I want to console.log this response. Let's see what we get from the API. Okay, before doing the console log, I think there's a problem because I didn't get, yes, the problem is the function doesn't finish here, but this is all inside this function, just like that. But this doesn't give us the result. I will tell you later why. Let me inspect, go to the console, make it bigger. If I click this final location, we get an error. Why an error is there? And it doesn't ask for any permission. What is the problem? The problem is whenever you make this navigator.geolocation current position function, you have to write both of this function. We put the onSuccess button, what we didn't create the onError function. So let me create an onError function. We call it a function, and this function will be onError. And what it passes, it has a parameter of error. And just like that, if there is any error, this function itself gives us some parameter, or like 1, 2, 3, and we know what that means. If the error code is equal to 1, which means the user denied the request. When you don't allow the permission, it gives an error of 1. So what we want to select my button, and at the inner text I want to change it. I want to equal this one, you denied the request. I want to print this message. What is the second error? Else if the second error is, okay, let me, before doing that, write the error.code. If the error code is equal to 2, what does 2 mean? 2 means if the location is not available. So just like before, I select my button and change the text to location is unavailable. And there is if another, I call it else. And if there's none of this error, but I want to print another message inside my button. I call it, for example, it means there's something else. So I say something went wrong. This message. Okay, and after that, once there is a problem, what I want to disable my button. So I select the set attribute and I call it disabled, and I set this disable to true. This will disable my button. And just like that, if we come back to my onSuccess function, we get the position from this navigator geolocation function, and from this position codes we get the longitude and latitude, and we put those inside variables. After that, this is how I get my private key to decode my key, and this is the fetch API link. I put the latitude, longitude in my key, and once it fetched the data from this API, if give me a response, and I convert that response to JSON to read it, and after that I console log that response. Let's save and see how it works. Let me make the browser a little bigger. If I open my inspect, go to console, if I press my final location, you see now it asks for the permission. If I block, you see it says you denied the request. I go here to receive the permission, refresh, and now when I click, and now when I press the allow, I want to allow my permission. hello. And what it does, it sends me data. There's some data, you see, there's a data, then there's result, state, many things inside this object. Inside the result there's 0, inside the 0 there's components, and inside this components you see there's my information, the information which I want to get. So let me make it smaller, and I want to use this information from the console to create my application. Instead of this console log, I want to hide this one, and I want to get some important information. I make a variable, I call it all details, and this is equal to the response, and from the response I want to select the results, this one, this results, and from the result I want to select this 0, and because this is an object I select 0, and after that I put another dot. From this 0 I want to select the components, so components, just like that, and all of this information will be stored inside this all details, and you can use it to get the city, the country, and just like that. Okay, once we did that, I want to console log this all details. Let's save it, specify my location, and yeah, we get an object of the information we need. Okay, once we did that, after that what I want to do is I comment this one. What I want to do is to make a table and print the necessary information to the table. Okay, to do that we selected our table and put inside this table data. Okay, I say table data dot inner HTML. Inside inner HTML I use this backtick. Remember, use backtick. I also use backtick in here. That's how you can use this dollar and variable name. Without it you can't use. Okay, inside this table data I make my table. The first thing I need to do is to make the table head. I close the table head. Inside this table head what I want to do is to make a tr or table row, and I have to close this table row. Inside this table row I want 3 information: the neighborhood, the state, the suburb, and continent. I want 4 information. Okay, the first thing is this neighborhood. Okay, I say teach, the table header, and th. I copy this one and paste it 3 more times, and after that I want to get also the state. I also want the suburb, this information, and the continent. Where is it? There it is. Okay, I changed the first letter to big. Okay, this is the table header. Now I want to make is the table body. After the table header I want to make the table body. I want to close the table body. Inside this table body I make a table row, and I close this table row. Inside this table row I make a teddy, and I close this teddy. Inside this teddy I want to print that information. The first thing is this neighborhood. I use dollar, and I can use a variable inside this one. Okay, where does the information come from? We put all the information inside all details. Let's write it correctly. And I want to put all details, and from the all details I want to select what the first one was, this neighborhood, just like that. You see, we get the neighborhood information now. Okay, let's console out this one to see what more information we need. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, this is wrong. Now it. Okay, the other information is the state, which is this one. Let's copy this one and paste it 3 more times. Now I want the state, this one. Okay, I want the state. This is the state. I paste this in here. From the all details, I want to select state. After that, I want to select subrow, paste it here, and after that, I want the content, which is this one. And just like that, we get from the all details, I get this information and print them inside the table. And what more thing I need to do is, after this table, I also want to print the location inside my button. Okay, let's make a variable. I call it from, I want to get some information from all details. I want to get the county, this one, where is it? This county, this one. I also want to get the postcode, and I also want to get the country name. Paste all those information in here. And where this comes from all details. We get this information from all details and we put all of them inside this variable. This is a very easy way to put multiple things inside a variable which comes from an object. Okay, after that I want to change my button. I select my button, which is button.inner HTML, not inner text. I want to change the text of my button to what? I set a backtick, and I want a dollar. First I wanted to display the county, and after that I want to display the postal code, and after that I put a comma, and I want to display the country, and that's how what things I want to display in my button. Let's save it. Also made the error before. Let's refresh the page. If I press the find my location, yeah, as you can see, it gets my current location, and there is some more information like my neighborhood, state, suburb, continent, and much more. You can display as much information as you want. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video. If you have any question, let me know in the comment below. If you want to download this application or other application I made, you can just go to the myskypower/web apps, and from here you can download, run all of the videos I make. There is the free source code, and also you can run at them on the web. For example, this is a currency converter. If you click run, you can run that directly from the website, or you can click the source code to download that. If you select the tutorial, it will direct you to my YouTube channel, to that to the tutorial of this specific one. Okay guys, I hope you learned something from this video. Just like I said, if you have any question, let me know in the comment below. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Have a great time.